Hey everybody, it's me, Belko.
This is Jen.
And here's our guest.
Dominique. Her cosplay name is Lady D.
Thank you.
Pretty
nice
awesome
to be
stuff. Today we're going to be discussing a bit about cosplay and our experience about cosplay, what we like about cosplay, and also, of course, we have a special cosplay guest here who will be talking about her experiences and so on. So without further ado,
let's get started.
Yeah. All right. So first thing I want to explain, when I was a kid, of course, being a kid, I think generally we all have this, I usually say this wanting to be someone else, like a superhero in some form. So I got introduced into the idea of cosplay from watching a cartoon show when I was a kid, and they were dressed up as different characters. And mostly, of course, throughout Halloween, I've always been fascinated about just being someone I wasn't. And so growing up, when I went to conventions, and I always saw videos and pictures of people dressed up as other characters, and it always fascinated me. And of course, it's one of those things where when you wear a mask, you kind of come out to be who you really are. So my thing about cosplay is that I feel it's a way for us to really be ourselves, but in a sense, we're expressing it through another, I guess you could say, persona and a sort. So how do you feel about that?
I kind of agree with it because it kind of like symbolizes what I think of cosplay, because I really just got involved in cosplay just because I wanted, like, I would watch a series or I would watch something and be like, I really want to be that character. And so I'd be like, I really just want to dress up as this character. I want to be this character. I don't want to be myself for a day. I just want to be someone else.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I would do that.
And I always
like
found,
a role model almost.
Yeah, and I always found that as a kid, I always was fascinated by dressing up for Halloween. And so when I figured out as I got older that, hey, you don't have to just wait on Halloween to be someone else, I was like, wait, what?
But to normal people, like people that don't know about cosplay, it's like, why are you dressing up and it's not Halloween?
Exactly.
It's so weird.
But of course, since we grew up here in New Orleans, we were always seeing people dressed up on the streets of like Bourbon and Decatur and Frenchmen and such. We always see people in the city dressed up as just people and weird, crazy characters. One of my favorites is actually this guy who tends to dress up as a transformer, and so he has this cardboard box set up where he's like a car running around in the street, and he comes out and he's Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that that really fascinates me. Also, you know, it is an art form. I always see cosplay as an art form. In a sense, it's like modeling, but you're also building something here. You know, it's I can't try to think of a word for it. Sculpting in a sense. Mm-hmm. You know, it has that same feel, and of course, it's. I always get excited about it because I'm like, man, I want to see certain characters, and I like to see what people get to pull off, especially when it's like robots or something crazy like that.
How did you get started with cosplay? Like, what made you want to cosplay?
Ooh, that's a good one. Mostly, it's pretty much the same thing as everyone else. Gateway is Halloween. Love Halloween. I was like the Wicked Witch of the West like 4 times. With the green paint. I loved it. But that's how it started. But it wasn't until high school I got into like anime and started getting into video games and comic books, and then started watching shows. My favorite, Inuyasha, of course.
Inuyasha, yes.
Yeah.
Sit boy.
Yeah. Stay up, waking up at 4 a.m. to tape it and go back to sleep.
One of the things I feel that's awesome about cosplaying in general, it's kind of helped to show these industries, hey, this is cool what you're doing, and we want to be these characters. You know? And like I said, growing up, I always thought to myself, like, dude, I'm going to be Superman. You know, I'm going to be Batman. And I just wanted to be these characters. So as I got older and I realized, oh man, there's a world out there for us, for these people that want to dress up and pretend. And you're not really pretending at all. This is really who you are. You're expressing something that you love through this form.
Yeah.
Right. And so how do you feel when you cosplay? What do you get out of it? Is there like a thrill? Something that you kind of thrive on? Or is it just fun?
I'm a very creative person. Like, I've always been involved in art stuff. So something that combined, I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was a kid, and then later on I wanted to be a costume person, and it just kind of naturally became something I wanted to do. It took 2 of my favorite things and put them together. Why would I not want to do that? So fabric meets art form meets anime and manga and just took off.
I think it'd be cool. So what was one of your first experiences, though, besides something like Halloween, where you realized, hey, people dress up? Like, I think it'd be cool if we kind of shared something like that. So for you, what was something that you went, oh man, that's cool?
I think it was the first time I went to the MechaCon anime convention. It was, what, like 7 years ago?
The one that was in Lafayette at the time?
Yeah, it was Lafayette, so it was the early time.
The early years, yeah.
Yeah, I went the first year. I didn't dress up, but then when I got there, it was like, surprise, everyone else is.
Yeah,
like,
everyone.
Like,
it's like going to a formal party.
And
but then you're the only
wrong.
one dressed up in like a tux or a dress, and everyone else is wearing jeans and a t-shirt. You know?
Except it's the reverse. When you go to a convention
Yeah.
and you want to put a costume on and you didn't know, or you kind of want to do it and didn't do it, you feel naked. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't put on nothing.
Well, do you feel like there are certain characters you just kind of relate to, and so you dress as those characters because you feel that, in a sense, that's a character, a fictional character you can relate to, which is normal. People, that's how we love
I think
these
people
fictional
pick
worlds.
the characters that they do because they feel like it represents them in a particular way. Like me, typically, I pick a lot of strong female characters, usually fighters.
Yeah, you did a Bayonetta, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it was like the full...
Yeah.
the full Bayonetta, and I saw that
It
picture,
was so awesome.
and I loved. I believe you had like LED style lights all over.
Yeah,
That's
in the game,
intense.
Bayonetta's hair becomes these creatures, and
Yeah.
me, I'm nuts and like to pick the craziest
Yes.
stuff to do. I saw a dragon in the game. I said, I'm making that, and I don't care how. And people are like, how are you gonna do that? That's nuts. Especially since I didn't sleep for like the week before, and I'm just. I don't know how I made that through that convention on sleep deprivation and
I think that's one thing we all experience as frequent con goers is that con lag, which I honestly feel is worse than jet lag.
It is
because it's one of those things where you're just pushing yourself. Because when I go to a convention, it's like I'm there all day, and then I usually get really involved with working with them. And then I go to sleep for like 2 or 3 hours, wake up at like 5 in the morning, and then do it all over again.
You sleep?
Rarely. During con weekends, oh no.
During con weekends,
Yeah.
I'm like, let's sleep.
Yeah.
Other years I have slept for con, like days of the con, but this year was just so bad because my cosplay was just so like detailed and just too difficult that I was like,
Yeah.
I don't regret doing it because I will never do it again.
Yeah.
That cosplay was so like difficult to put on and like dangerous too. Like I like was itching for weeks.
Well,
It was so strenuous
yeah.
on my body. Like I can't wear it ever again. So I'm glad I did it. But man, it was so hard and.
Yeah, I got a costume like that. I actually have like a little scar on my shoulder.
What character was it that you did?
oh my gosh, it's like a little star actually.
Yeah.
It kind of looks cool, like a little birthmark.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What cosplay got you that?
Elise, the Spider Queen, when I went to
my gosh.
Louisiana, right? Like, we had to zip tie me into my little cowl piece, and that was the only way it would stay still, so those were super tight the whole
Yeah, I've realized that cosplay is very hard work. It's one of those things where people are like, yeah, they're definitely having fun, but it can be a chore at times. You know, it's something that you really
serious
work
job.
hard on. For example, I remember a few years ago, I remember with the MechaCon, and I met this girl who was cosplaying as Jill Valentine, and she was like in a Resident Evil 3 outfit, and she had like weapons and everything all on her, and it was like heavy stuff. And I was all like, and I saw her walking, and it was kind of near the day. I was like, hey, can I take a picture of you? And she's like, yeah, but like I knew she wanted to, but at the same time, she's like, I'm really tired, you know. But I was like, I understand. And she's like, no, go for it. And she just put on her best smile. And then this year, I encountered a girl she was Fran from Final Fantasy 12. And she had the whole get up and like 6-7 inch heels. And since I was working a shift during a competition there, I was telling her, I was like, hey, you know, we're supposed to kind of help you, guide you around. Would you want to go sit down in the back for a bit? She's like, no, I'm just gonna go out because she's like, I know, like, she's like, I'm here for everyone else. She's like, I'm tired, and every step I'm taking is agony. But you know what? I'm gonna man up, and I'm gonna go out there and give them my best show, my poses, and just do it. And I mean, these heels were humongous. I don't know how she did it, but she did it, and she trooped through it.
Oh man, as a female cosplayer, when you have to put on heels for a long amount of time, especially if you haven't broken them in before you did it, it's
you have to kind of practice while come out. I've seen some guys wear heels though. That's pretty interesting because I see a lot of cross-dressing sailor costumes for Sailor Moon and Mars and Mercury mostly, but I've seen it. And plus, living in New Orleans, you will see a ton of cross-dressers. Like I've been to a drag show actually at UNO. They did remember the Big Gay Talent Show? Yeah, and that was pretty interesting stuff there. So really props to anyone who can pull those heels off, because it's just, I could never imagine walking in something like that.
Was that the hardest cosplay that you ever did? The
What?
spider?
Bayonetta?
Well,
Or Elise?
was
The
it
Elise, the spider queen.
what was your most difficult cosplay? Is what I'm getting at.
I would say
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta?
Just because of how many pieces were involved.
The details, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the eyes like were glowing as well.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
That's some pretty sick stuff. Did you ever see the guy who was the Big Daddy and his
Yes.
daughter was like the little sister?
Yes, I
The
did.
thing that creeped me out, like I love BioShock and it's openly known that I love that game. And so when he came on stage and he ran and then the lights on his helmet turned red and then he put the drill out and it started spinning and I was like, that aesthetic was actually
was
what
crazy.
won
I
him
remember
that
that.
competition last year.
Yeah.
And
Totally
that was
deserved it.
just
Yeah.
oh man, and just seeing his engineering work, and I discovered he was like an engineer and technician at my college. I know some
That helps, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like, what skills do you apply to your cosplays?
Me, a couple of different things. A lot of the stuff I work with is trying to find fabrics that mimic other fabrics that I really can't afford at this point. But
Yeah, I understand that.
that sculpting with like Warbler is my favorite thing now. It used to be Wonderflex, but there's reasons why I prefer it over the other one.
Yeah.
That prop making is
Prop
becoming
making?
like my newest thing, because it requires you to like deal with a little bit of everything. Like I
Yeah.
haven't worked with wood just because I don't want to do anything heavy.
Yeah, that's
mostly-
understandable.
Mostly foam. Basically a lot of it's just foam. Like new installation foam is like the best thing.
I actually found this article online on how to make like foam swords appear very realistic. And it's a very, very interesting article. I'll definitely put a link somewhere. But pretty much the process is having the foam itself. Of course, you need the foam board and you kind of stencil everything out. You cut it out, put everything together. But what I saw was that, of course, you can get like the chrome paint you can get from like a Home Depot or something. And you can add a metallic touch to it. And you get certain paint brushes to brush it along, and it looks like polished metal.
Yeah,
And it makes it look very realistic, and it's something I have to try out
chrome
myself.
paint is so like if you're looking for mirror finish, it is so hard to find in a paint. Like I only found like 2 places that sell it, and one of them is for like model cars, and it comes in this really small bottle. But recently, like somebody else found out that you can use window tinting. Like that goes on cars for the windows, but they come in a bunch of colors. They come in sheets, and you can melt them onto your stuff, and then it'll look like actual metal.
That's really
I
cool.
can't wait to use that.
That sounds fun. See, I've always loved this idea because I feel like a lot of cosplayers who build their props, I just imagine like mad scientists in a lab just really going at it. I know, the thing is, I bring up the Bayonetta because it was a very elaborate piece. So what are some things that you've built that you just really can't imagine yourself doing again, or that you felt were very elaborate and time consuming, just hard in general?
Oh, actually, the Bayonetta, the dragon, was kind of interesting. Just figuring out how to get it to stay on me and look the way I wanted it to look and be as tall. But it didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it would, which is good because I was serious crunch mode at that point.
Oh gosh.
But when I did Verdandi, which is the character I did last year, she had this giant bow, and that's when I did it with the foam, and I learned a very valuable lesson. I will never use spray primer on foam ever again because I didn't know that it eats it.
Yeah, that's primer is okay from because I kind of grew up building houses and messing with cars and stuff with my dad, so primer is not something you really want to put on because it eats through things and melts.
Yeah, without a sealant.
Exactly. I think one of the most interesting props I've ever seen actually was like last year when I went to the Screw Tech Game Convention. They had a guy who dressed up as the Pig Ganon from Legend of Zelda. He was like full blown Pig Ganon, had the swords. He stood at least like 8.5 feet, 9 feet tall. Jeez. Very elaborate pieces there, and everything was like glowing, and it was the Ocarina of Time Pig Ganon with the 2 swords and the final boss fight, which a lot of fans will know what I'm talking about. That's something I'll definitely show a picture of. Another thing too, I found a lot of characters who I find people that they somehow, okay, for example, the character Zelda and Sheik, they have like the harp. I've noticed that they somehow make it look metallic, but they don't use a paint. Like, what are they using? Is there anything you can think of that's like that? Because that's stuff like that where I'm looking from a distance, like, how do they do that? And a lot of things I see from the distance, there's really more than meets the eyes there. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of little tricks, little things that kind of like shortcuts. So I guess what I want to ask is, what is something like a shortcut that you've used? Like, for example, like I said, at Bayonetta Dell, because it looked like the hair. Like, it had that look. Because I've played a game and everything she does is her hair, like her outfit and everything. And so it kind of looks like strands of hair. So how do you get a finish like that?
Well, basically what I did was, you know that fun fur that you buy at the thing? It's like, a lot of it was just cut and then like glue, because I couldn't do it any other way, glued onto it in panels. And then to give it an actual hair effect, I actually brushed it in circles and sprayed it with, I think, just like generic hairspray or stay spray, so it would look less like fur and more like hair. Yeah. Plus, I also used weave pieces on it, so more like hair.
Bayonetta with weaves.
It's called Wicked Weave when it comes out,
it's
so that makes
unbelievable.
sense.
Now you were never like you didn't start cosplay at this level. You were a beginner at one point. What was your first cosplay, and how old were you, and how difficult was it? Like, did you go easy on it? Like, how did you make it?
Well, the first cosplay I ever did was Sango from Inuyasha, and my mom helped me the night before.
The night before?
The night, yeah.
Oh,
I started off wrong.
That's like a failed science project, you know? Let me try to type this paper.
Maybe it was partially a cheat code. My mom is also a seamstress. She used to sew wedding dresses, so she could do some stuff pretty quickly. But, like, we made the armor out of, like, fabric and, like, pillow stuffing. Like, we really cheated on this one. And my bodysuit was a black turtleneck and pants. So, like, you know, did a lot of
So you kind of like a poet. How chic, you know?
Yeah, we took a lot of shortcuts with that one. But, you know, it still turned out pretty good for a first time. But my mom helped me with that one. And I forgot what my second cosplay was.
If I remember on your Facebook page, wasn't it the Baywitch? Or what's it called? It's an anime. Big boobs. That's all I know.
Oh, Witchblade.
Witchblade is actually not an anime. It was actually a series of comic books,
but
a live action
it
show,
was an
and then it became an anime.
I'm just saying, that's what I know it of.
I do love that anime, and I will redo one of those costumes. I really want to do Shiori, the other character that had the blue armor. But
that's awesome, guys. I actually watched through the Witchblade anime because I used to read the comic books, and it was like a whole different, because there's always like a different wielder of the Witchblade, you know. That's really cool. It's a very elaborate piece.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to show a picture of that.
That's, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, at least of the character, at least.
Okay,
you know?
can do the character.
Just to
so
get an idea
how did you make that one? Did you get your
God.
mom's help again, or did you try that one alone by yourself?
I kind of did that one mostly by myself. Though at one point I had to get my friend Katie to help like paint my armor onto my bodysuit.
Yeah, because it's like an organic armor. It's interesting.
Which I bit off more than I can chew with that as a second go round. Like I don't know why.
Yeesh.
I was like, I did everything wrong with that costume. That's why I will never do stuff like everything.
So how long ago was that?
That was the second year that I went to MechaCon.
So you were what, in high school?
Yeah, I was still
16, 15?
And how old are you now?
23.
23. So
it took you a few years to get the hang of it.
Yeah, so looking back at young cosplay Lady D. Were you Lady D at that time?
No.
Okay. So were you just Dominique at that time?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're Lady Dominique?
Yeah.
Alright. Now, so looking back at your young self, what is some advice you would say to like newcomers to cosplaying? Like, how would you want them to avoid something like that? Like, oh man.
Well, first thing, now that I do it, I know better. Research.
Yeah.
Before you even pick up an item, try to figure out I make these books first is what I do. I find all the reference images from different angles of a character I can.
Yes.
Like this is for like, you know, if you want to get down to the wire with the details. I mean, if you just want to do it for fun, go ahead, do it for fun. Don't worry about all that kind of stuff. Just do whatever you'd like. But if you like me and you love details, I'm insane. So you just, you know,
like the leaves on the bed.
You map it out first, and then you kind of figure out, okay, how I do. I make all these lists of like what kind of supplies I need. Like when people redo their house, I do it the same way.
Okay, like you kind of have a blueprint.
Yeah.
All right, so So, what is your average spending price when it comes to building a costume?
I'm almost scared to say. Well, let's see.
Okay, how about this? I'll tell you mine, and then like maybe it won't make you feel that.
And I'll
bad.
tell you an assumption.
Because my
you go
point,
first, and I will build an assumption based on your
Okay,
statement.
yeah. Because I'm not as professional as her. I just
Okay.
do it more because it's a hobby, and I like to do it. I like to dress up. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm not very girly already, so I never like. I'm serious.
Jen is a
I
man.
I don't dress up. I don't wear heels. I don't wear makeup. I don't do a lot of things that girls should do. Maybe.
No,
you call
that's
it?
subjective.
No,
that is
I know,
subjective
I know.
by society.
I know it is, and it's sad because I'm not like that. But cosplay is the only one time that I actually do like I feel like I dress up more.
Like you feel fabulous.
Yes, I do. Anyway,
Isn't that true for both sexes though? Because there
Yeah.
are guys that
Yeah.
whip out the
Definitely.
beard hair and
Yeah,
start
they do.
trimming. Yeah.
I can't even grow a beard, so I wouldn't know.
No, they.
okay,
they put the
so
Oh, yeah.
my price ranges, I at least have to go up to $100 for cosplay. At least.
Okay, she's laughing.
Yeah, she's
So,
laughing. So it's
based
gonna be
on
more
that,
than
I'm gonna go
100.
on an assumption. We're gonna put like the price is right.
Okay.
Okay, so I would assume at least 500.
Okay. All right. He's in the ballpark. It's about
Up,
5.
should he go down more or up more?
No, that's about right.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I'm gonna go
500.
with a solid 5.
okay.
I'm
All
gonna say
right.
just like
Well,
that,
that's
too.
good because that's about how much Bayonetta was. Though I didn't go back and tally up the receipts because I just don't want to do that.
Can
to
you write it
myself.
off on tax?
I wish. But no, like that Bayonetta was a good 5, and that's just because I just needed so much stuff.
Yeah, and I witnessed that. I believe you pulled it off too. Was it last year? Not last year. I remember.
Years-
No, it's 2
weeks
years
before.
ago.
Okay, yeah, and I
2
knew
years
it was a little bit ago.
It's about 5 though. As I get better at like picking out what I need from what I don't need, and I always overbuy just because in case I screw up at some point, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
you know,
and
order
then
it.
yeah, I have a friend of mine actually. I'm gonna kind of give him a shout out. His name's Martin. This guy, he tends to buy the same product again just to have backups in case he messes up.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good strategy. But this dude can make a like $6 Halloween mask look like a deluxe $200 mask.
Yeah. That's,
So
that's a lot of time.
he just has that, people just have those certain talents, and you can do it too with the power of the internet at your disposal. We live in a time now.
No, definitely.
where
I
you
know
can do
how
it.
I do a lot of my cosplays. If I don't have like friends to help me, I go on YouTube and I just start looking up tutorials like
Exactly.
crazy. How to make
How to
a
do
puff
that.
sleeve shirt. How to do this. How
People
to do that.
think that because I've been doing cosplay for a couple of years that I don't look up how-tos. Bull.
You-
I
no.
do every
Yeah,
time.
no,
Like, I'll modify it if I need to.
Yeah,
But I find out how to do something.
I apply that same strategy when it comes to people who are like athletes and it's not so much of just it's just there's still ways to always perfect this art, to always do it better. What can I do again? What can I learn from my past mistakes?
Ooh, like
And I know you've had a malfunction once with the cosplay of the Amagatas, which you spoke about. You spoke
She
about.
was actually my partner. She was
yeah.
one of my partners.
Yeah.
You were Erd, I was Payorth, and our friend Jess was Beldandy. And we wore it from MechaCon, and like at MechaCon we were fine. We had our stage ninja, and he was like really up on that.
Stage ninja.
Yes.
yeah,
I
that's
like
what we
that
call
term.
him. Hey,
Yeah, that's what
Albert,
we called him.
Where you been, man?
But we had a stage ninja, so he was like watching to make sure our angels for each goddess had an angel. Our angels were on, so like when we did the walk on, everything was good. We did the award ceremony, everything was good. Right when I got off stage, fell. I was like, as long as it didn't fall on stage, I'm good.
Yeah.
But then we went to Louisiana and shit just happened.
Shit just went down. It hit the
No,
fan.
no, but it happened at a good moment though. We already did the walk on. We were safe. I was good. We were all good. Everything was good.
Everything was good until
Then we got called up for the reward of what was it? It was a judge's award.
best use of a $20 bill.
Yeah,
I'll explain later.
yeah. So we go up. Yeah. No. But wait. It gets better. So we go up. Them two went on first. It shouldn't have been that. I should have went on first because my sucker was the least stable of all of them.
The heaviest mannequin ever.
Yes.
We bought 3 at a time, and for some reason, hers was made
Yeah,
of a
mine was
completely
just-
different material.
And you even sent me the link for the mannequin. I was like, okay, Dominique said it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know
Like,
that though when we ordered it. They just looked right.
I don't know.
And then we got it. It was like mine's like doop, Dupe hers. Oh.
What happened here?
So I'm the last one to go up on stage, and like I'm going up. I'm like, all right, I got this, and all of a sudden I feel like a resistance on my back. I was like. I need to keep on going. So I keep on going. I'm like, ooh, I'm like leaning back a little. I'm like, I'm gonna fall. And so I keep on going. I was like, okay, I gotta get on that stage. And then all of a sudden, boom, and then a puff of smoke comes up. And I'm like, oh, what just happened?
That's the dust from the inside of her mannequin flying into the air.
It happened on stage?
Yeah.
Ah, that is heartbreaking.
No. It got better.
That's like a dream where you're naked and everyone's looking at you or something, you know?
Funny.
The icing on the cake is the fact that everyone in the audience goes, except for you hear two douchebags in the back laughing. Thank you, Jonathan and Joe.
Yeah, my husband and my friend were laughing at my misfortune.
And I don't mean like sound like snicker, ha ha. I'm talking
laughing. Everyone else was silent, and all you hear is them two laughing their butts off. I was like, thank you, because you know I definitely need that kind of support.
And just runs
Thank
up
you
on
for being
stage.
the husband of the year. Goes to Jonathan.
But no, and Jess runs up on stage, grabs the microphone, and makes a
She
joke
tries to
out
save
of it.
me,
She
yeah.
set up too much drinks on
Yeah,
her.
too much drinks
And
on the
that
angel.
was okay.
So.
Well, the angel turned out okay, except she's missing 2 fingers.
Yeah,
but
she missed 2 fingers,
It's
but
okay.
no, it's
We'll
good.
go on
That's
that song.
such a shame.
It's funny after the fact. It wasn't.
Yeah,
funny.
no, I mean,
could
at the
have
moment it
did
wasn't funny,
the,
but I laugh at it now. It's
You
good.
could have did the old Ashley Simpson on SNL lip syncing thing, dance, and go off the stage.
Don't feel bad. You know what though? I think I've come to the conclusion if something doesn't fall off, it's not a good cosplay. Because technically the dragon, and after I went up off my award show, fell off
It
my
fell,
side.
right,
And
yeah.
I just left
Really?
it there and just went, all right, I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
It's done. When I was
So,
able
okay,
to
that brings up a
fall
good
off.
point. All right, so the thing is, though, is that as a person who plays, I play a lot of video games in general. I love playing Street Fighter. People are like, oh, do you play for fun or competitively? Well, I play competitively, but it's fun. So
Yeah, but when people ask competitively or fun, you know what they mean.
yeah, but it's one of those things where
You're just being
competitive is fun.
complicated.
It's competitive can be really
But
fun.
okay, but
it's just
for
a lot
you,
more
it's like
work.
that, but some people it's not like that.
But it's a lot more work, but it's still fun. Now, for you, do you feel more like you're a competitor, or do you feel like
You're just
it's
doing it
more
for
on fun?
I would definitely say, me personally, I find my fun in competition. Like, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong,
so-
I have no
That-
problem.
It's your little.
Because that's how I am too.
I have no problem dressing up and going to convention and just walking around and meeting people, which is a lot of fun, especially when they want to take your picture and you start conversating.
You kind of feel like a star,
a little bit,
like a famous,
but it's more like you connect and you find a whole bunch
Exactly.
of people that share the same thing.
the same interest, and then you kind of become part of that community.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you part of a community?
I would say so. Yeah.
What and is there like a specific name for this community, or is it just
Well,
random people you meet?
typically, well, every time I go to a convention, there's always somebody new. But I would say I'm part of like the little Louisiana Cosplay.
okay? All
which
right.
is an actual.
Yeah,
page.
the Louisiana Cosplay group actually, and I find them interesting because I actually recently joined their group. A friend of mine kind of threw me in there because I was like, I want to, I just want to be more part of this. I love being involved. I love meeting cosplayers. I love asking them questions, just interviewing them, and I found it very interesting because they are really friendly. A lot of people might be like, man, they're a little intimidated, but they are more than willing to give tips and help out.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
one of the things there I find is there's a lot of kind of misconception there. These people aren't stuck up. They're nice. They're sweethearts, especially for the most part. I meet a lot of good people who are just like, hey, if you need any help, I got you. Because I know how hard it is to do this. And it's a pain in the ass to do this. But it's so fun, and we have to make it work together.
Yeah, no, actually, I went to the competition this year with my Slade and my Raven as I was Terra, and my Raven's belt kept on falling off backstage.
I saw that.
Like, no!
I saw it on the stage.
We need
and
a
it
well,
came
no,
on.
it fell off
Yeah.
on stage, but backstage it was falling off repeatedly. Every time she would walk, and we're like, "How can we fix this? We need to fix this." She's like, "I don't want to use tape. It's gonna look stupid." Well, this one girl, I don't know who she was dressed as, but she was like 2 people ahead of us in line. She's like, "I have super glue. Let's do this." And I was like, "You are so nice to worry about us when you have yourself to worry about." And so she was just helping us the whole entire time when we're in line. She's like, okay, we gotta stick this, just keep it there, and like maybe it'll stick. And we thought it was gonna stick, but I mean, props for her for helping us. I'm sad that all of her time was wasted because it fell on stage, but yeah, I mean, it's people like them that make me care, like, to be in that community, because I'm also a part of it. I recently went into the group
Have
page.
you ever participated in like cosplay events?
Mostly it's just been like competitions at either Louisiana or MechaCon, but there are a couple of cosplay events I do want to start participating in now that I'm out of school, which thank God
It's
finished.
a big help. Yes, I'm still in school. I don't know how I'm doing any of this.
On your free time. But no, I was in school full time and working full time, so now I'm just working full time. So I have a lot more free time to dedicate to this craft.
So you work?
Yeah.
Where do you work at?
Where do you work?
Macy's.
Macy's?
Lady shoes. Please come buy them.
Well, they're not gonna give us anything free, believe me.
No, they're not.
No.
So see, you're like a regular person. You have a regular job.
Oh yeah, I got a regular job. I have a regular family I can't stand. I'm just like,
really no. What about you, Jen? What about your work? Because I know you cosplay. So what do you do?
Yeah,
out
but
of
I
cosplay?
cosplay, but I'm not like. I feel Lady D right here because she.
Well, she's Lady
she has a-
D,
She
yeah.
has a cosplay name. I don't have a cosplay name yet. I'm not probably gonna get one, but I'm probably not gonna get one. I just feel that you are trying to go more professional with your cosplay than I am.
This is true.
One, because you have the skills to do it. I don't.
You can always
You learn.
Be her Padawan.
I can.
She's a Jedi.
I don't know.
She'll raise you.
Anyway, I'm not that good. I'm not.
You gotta give yourself.
I don't know
more
if I'm
credit.
ever gonna get that good. I don't even know if I want to do this like that often.
Okay,
I don't know. I
If
don't
you
know.
don't want to do it professionally, that's perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
as far as like, if you want to get better, it's just practice. It's trial and
yeah.
error. I've
I
messed
know.
up so many stuff.
Practice makes perfect.
Oh, I know, because one of
and
my
barely
friends.
perfect.
And you will lose money on it. I'm
Oh,
warning
definitely.
you now. If you want to do this type of stuff, yes, there will be trial and error. Yes, you will break something.
It's like,
burn something,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ramen for
burn
a week.
yourself. Done that several times.
No, trust me, I do know that. One of my partner that I've been partnered with for about a year now, she wants to do another one with me. And it has to do with a lot of sewing, and I admit sewing is not my thing.
Yeah.
I can't sew for anything else. I can barely even do like little stitches that can just survive. Like, so
Practice.
my next
understand.
cosplay is going to be torture because I'm just going to have to try my best.
Take
and-
sewing classes at Joann's or Hancock's. I forgot which one does them.
So, what made you exactly want to become more professional with this? What made you want to go to that next level of cosplay?
Well, somewhere around 3 a.m. I decided I'm in love with this, making these projects, doing these
It's that
characters.
passion.
And it's like, I would love nothing more than to do this for the rest of my life. So that's kind of where it just came in. Like, yeah, it's crazy and it can be expensive and tiresome, but I really, really have a passion for it. And you want to do a career where you never work a day in your life. Like, I don't want to spend my life doing something I don't really care about. Mm-hmm. Really, really don't. I might be broke sometime, but I'll be happy.
Exactly.
So, where do you plan to take this? Like, where do you plan to take your cosplay to?
Hopefully, I guess my dream would probably be to take it probably compete in some of the bigger world-renowned competition like World Cosplay Summit and different things like that. Basically, I really would like to probably teach people.
World Cosplay Summit. I think you need to have a partner for that, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you gotta find someone.
Yeah.
It's hard to find groups.
It is hard.
really
It's hard.
hard.
It's sometimes hard. It can be hard to work with people depending
Exactly.
on.
Creative conflict,
know,
stuff like that. You have to worry
Just
about
find
too.
somebody who's also as
Natural.
dedicated as you are
Yeah.
to it, because you don't want to get involved in it. Somebody's like, yeah, it's really fun, but it becomes more like a job to them, and then
Yes.
they're not really into it.
Well, and another thing is you've only done competitions where you were cosplay walk on.
Right.
For World Cosplay Summit, which
gotta
I
do
follow,
skits.
I follow a lot. I love it to death. You have to do skits, and you've never done a skit before. If I
No,
remember.
I haven't, but I'm gonna test the waters.
You're gonna
in the
test
future.
it?
Test the waters.
Gonna test it
Yeah.
because
Sure,
that's
there's
how
no
you
sharks,
go.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bring a shark on. Let's go.
Bring the shark on. Okay, so I want to kind of touch on a more serious subject matter. One of my biggest issues, obviously, are people that harass cosplayers. Of course, mostly it's physically and sexually harass them. Of course, there was an incident at the San Diego Comic-Con where a girl was physically abused until she passed out and was later found like on the side of a street. My heart goes out to that person. And then
she was abused. Why?
Pretty much just for looking the way she did. Yeah.
Which was?
I'm not sure exactly who she cosplayed as.
I think it was a sexy Jessica Rabbit.
That's
Roger
right.
Rabbit's
It was
clothing.
it was
it's a fan art.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was cool because I know Chloe Dextra, who does like the Just Cause show, she actually later on went to go visit her at the hospital, and she kind of had like a little PSA. So I feel that personally, I feel that there needs to be more security around cosplayers in general, not a strict security, but just to kind of keep an eye out on cosplayers. Because what you're doing, you're just trying to enjoy yourself, and then people are just assuming, hey, I want you to do this stuff with me. No, that's not the truth. That's not how it works. You're just trying to enjoy yourself. Have you ever encountered harassment? And how would you handle the harassment?
Okay, well, one case I can remember was at Louisiana a couple of years ago. It wasn't directly toward me, but it was just toward a bunch of female attendees in general. So there was a guy, and he was kind of like staying away from everybody, not really being sociable. That's usually the first clue when they're by themselves.
Yeah, that's the
basically Creeper 101, just being really off and away from the crowd, not talking to anybody. And then like he had his Nintendo DS at that point. It had the little flashlight on it at that point. And as we went into the bathroom, girls are fixing their hair and changing and all that other kind of stuff. But it wasn't yet by the toilets. It's just that little makeup powder area. And like as the doors are opening, like he's sticking his DS in with the bright light that, dude, we could totally see that. And we're all turning around like, is that he was, like, filming us?
He had to take pictures, or he had to mod his DS to record.
Yeah, like I think he had it on record.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
it was like flashing. A DSi. Yeah, because there's actually ways you can mod it to become a phone too.
Yeah,
weird stuff. You
pretty
can
sure
find
he was
over the
doing that, but he was basically like filming girls in the bathroom. Like we saw.
Yeah, we use the bathroom sometimes to get into our costumes, actually. Sometimes,
yeah, definitely.
So that's like a serious.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because I'm always changing in the bathroom or my bedroom, one or the other. And if I'm in a public place, I'm gonna go to either a friend's hotel room,
or you sometimes just have to use the hotel bathroom.
You gotta use the hotel bathroom,
right? But it's just the fact, like, okay, first off, why are you recording people in the bathroom? One, we saw him. We alerted con security, which is what you should always do in case something like this happens.
Yes.
And the guy was apprehended, and then he was escorted out of the premises, and I think he's banned from ever going back.
Yeah,
things like that.
There was also another case in Australia of a guy who was interviewing cosplayers and asking them very inappropriate questions, such as, "Have you ever been physically intimate as this character?" or "Hey, why don't you kiss me on the cheek?" And he was also groping them, taking pictures and stuff. Of course, that was dealt with. He is completely banned, and his name is all over con security because he's been traveling the past few years across the country doing this type of behavior. And it's just of course, we all known someone who has been subjected to this type of harassment, and it's really not funny. It's just uncomfortable.
It's a serious situation, and it starts off small, but it tends to snowball.
It will build up, and once that builds up, it would just.
But the biggest thing that you can do to kind of subvert this is to just be really vocal about it. Especially with people like this that are creepers will try to do it like on the slick, like they're not going to be really overt about it because one, they don't want anybody to see them or notice them, and two, they're going to target specific people. Like if you're off by yourself or being kind of like. Basically, if you're just being a target, which a target is somebody that's by themselves, they're really quiet, they're not really hanging out with anybody, it's like, one, try not to let yourself be a target. Two, stick within groups, big groups. They won't do this with big groups, especially if you need to find a guy buddy, or even a really tough girl buddy. A tough girl buddy would be fine.
Why are you pointing at me? I'm tough? You saying tough?
No.
Oh.
Some pretty tough women.
You are a girl. But you're cool. You can be tough.
Girls and guys are
just
all
like
tough.
if you're not a really strong personality, but you have a strong personality friend, ask them to be your little your bodyguard. Pay them in pocket.
And I always feel say something.
Yeah. Open your mouth.
Speak. if you really want to prevent harassment and stuff like that from happening, please speak up when it happens.
As soon as it happens. Doesn't wait till later to tell somebody, like, do it ASAP. Especially these guys will do the creeper stuff and then leave because they're not going to stay where they can be exposed. So you definitely want to, you know.
Yeah. And
loud cap them.
Yeah, and also it's very imperative to not attack the victim. You know, don't make them feel unwelcomed or unopened. Just please do not disrespect someone who's ever been harassed or victimized. It's not cool in any level.
And try not to perpetuate this whole rape culture thing where you like, oh, if someone's dressed as a sexy character, oh, you asked for it. No one ever asked to be assaulted. Exactly. I don't care what she's wearing. I don't care what he's wearing. No one asked you to put their hands on
exactly.
them.
And
ever.
And
or tell them lewd things.
Like I said, like the best way to prevent it is just to speak up when it happens. And even if you have to make a scene and you're by yourself, be like, help, this guy or girl is messing with me and I don't like this. Please someone get this person away.
Or just, you know, kind of make it stop before it happens. Know the signs. Because I remember when I dressed up as Payworth with you as Erd, I remember seeing a guy, like, not in the distance, he was kind of close to me, but he kind of, like, had his cell phone really low and, like, almost trying to hide the picture.
Like some weird upskirt thing?
Yeah.
That's,
and
oh
so
my
I'm
gosh.
thinking, but I didn't even have a skirt on, because that's not Payworth's costume. But I was just like, you don't have to, like, hide your camera. I will pose for a picture if you ask me. So I didn't tell him that personally, but, you know, I saw it, so I was like, oh, hey, you know, I'll pose. So I posed for him, and he kind of, like, was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Some
and like,
creepers are really, to be honest, they're really stupid. Because a lot of times if you want a picture of a girl and she's at a con and she's in cosplay, 9 times out of 10, she'll take the picture.
Yeah. I had no problem with the picture. I mean, I was willing to do a picture, and I did. I did the picture. I stopped him there. I was like, you're not taking a picture of me in secret. No. You take a picture of me with me knowing. So I saw him, I posed, he took the picture, it was done.
Yeah.
I prevented it from happening.
But of course, isn't it just something that just only happens to females? A friend of mine is a male. Of course, it's a girlfriend and everything. He had women kind of like on him. And he was like, hey, you know, could you not... I'm just trying to be here with my girlfriend. You're disrespecting me. And it's not cool. We can take pictures, yes, but please stop doing this to me. And... just to let you know, it's something that happens on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just one group. It's not just one person.
No, because you have those crazy fangirls that kind of like forget that they're in reality when they go to cons.
I had a friend of mine have his
and they'll
shirt
jump
torn
people.
I had a friend of mine
That's
had
another
his
thing.
Turn
Glomping, jumping
Everyone
on
thinks
somebody,
it's hilarious.
even though
Sometimes
they're in
it's not funny.
character. Some people, one, really don't want to do it. Two, you spend all that time on a costume and a prop, and you know it'll only take a good 20 pounds to snap.
You really need to respect people
personal space.
Their bubbles.
You can ask them, hey, can I glomp you? And they say, yeah, go for it. But
unexpectedly from behind, don't do it.
That's why it's banned at MechaCon, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it was a guy. No, a girl got jumped on and they broke her arm when she fell.
Oh my god!
So that's why it is completely.
And it's one of those things where it's a liability thing too. It's like, wow, this person was injured on our grounds.
Yeah.
Now we have to deal with this, and look what you did. You made something that's supposed to be fun and engaging, not so fun and engaging. It's really easy to turn a fun group into a riot. It's really easy to instigate something. Okay, well, to end on a more positive note, I want to say congratulations because you were featured in the Marvel Fearless Defenders. I believe it's a magazine, right?
Comic book. In the back of the comic book.
How was that for you?
Mind-blowing.
Did he tell you, hey, we're going to put you in here?
Actually, they asked me to put it in there because when I went to Anime Matsuri, they had a Marvel meetup and they had some editors there, and one of the editors was a friend of the editor of Fearless Defenders and hadn't really seen a Misty Knight in a while and was like, oh my god, can you please submit this? So
I like the pose. You're all like...
Yeah.
You look so gruff.
Yeah, I never smile for Misty.
Never smile?
Because Misty doesn't smile.
It's like Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd never smiles.
Nope.
But yep, including that, and just we wish you luck in your future endeavors in the cosplay community and out in the cosplay world. I hope to see much more from you.
Well, that being said, where do you kind of see yourself then? Like, I mean, I know we kind of covered it, but like, how would you want to end it if there was an ending, or would you want that to end for you?
I don't think I want it to end, but I guess like after I finally kind of like just feel like I've finished like competing versus wise. I'd probably like to teach people stuff or focus on commissions, like making things.
You can just be like a seasoned cosplayer in your 60s, 70s. Like I've been doing this for years.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that old lady at the con behind that giant booth.
But thousands of cats. Just kidding.
Just
no.
one. Just one.
All right.
Luna.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the show with us.
Lady
Thank
D.
you.
Please check out her
Lady
page,
D.
Lady D.
We'll have it
easy
in
to
the
find.
links below.
Yeah, and of course you see her face, you will see her there. I'm Belko.
Jen.
Dominique.
And this is Awesome Geeks.
Stay awesome.